The thing about failure is that it's one of those things that will either make you or break you as a person. It can easily, though, be the key to your success as long as you allow it to be. As long as you want failure to be the key to your success. The only way this happens is depending on how you frame your success, how you value your failure, is what I meant to say. However you frame your failure and however you value your failure is how you can reframe it to be your success. Because failure can mean a bunch of things for a lot of people. Depending on the type of person you are, depending on the type of goals you have, depending on what you want to do, failure can easily break you or it can easily make you. And if you're like me, then you've definitely had your fair share. You definitely had your fair share of failures. You've definitely delved into a bunch of opportunities that you thought you were early to. You've been through and you've done things that you've had this incredible feeling where you thought that this would be the thing that's going to catapult you into the success. It's gonna give you the life that you've always wanted, the life that you always dreamed of. You know that feeling. And it's only that feeling you get when your intuition is telling you that this is what you need to be doing, that this is what you need to do in order for you to make it. This is what you need to do in order to put your team on. This is what you need to do in order to put yourself in a position to win in life. And then you realize that that was far from the truth. And then you're at this spot where you don't know if you could really trust yourself anymore. You don't know if you have the right mindset. You don't know if your intuition, you don't know if those feelings that you have are the right ones anymore, because it's been so many times that you felt like this. It's been so many times where you felt like this was right for you. Like, this is what I need to be doing. Only to find out a few months later, or however long, a year later, that it was all for nothing. That you ended up collapsing. You ended up giving up on that thing. You ended up not finishing what you started. And this may be the case for a lot of you guys. Even right now, these videos that I'm making for you guys, these videos that I make for other people, I make it for myself as well. I listen to these videos myself. But ultimately, I do it for everyone else. I do it for the people after me. I do it not for monetary gains, but for value, so that people can gain something out of the videos that I make. No matter what people tell me, no matter what I hear from other people, even if it's behind my back, when I know I could easily read people's minds or their body language, our creed faces. When I know people are against me, when I know people don't believe in my vision, I still continue to make these videos. But then I also ask myself, is this what I should be doing? Because sometimes when I do make these videos, just like anyone else, you have a lot of doubt. You have this feeling of almost remorse, or this feeling of contemplation. Like, I don't think this is what I'm supposed to be doing, or I don't think I should be doing this, because sometimes it doesn't feel right. Sometimes it feels like it's a waste of time. Sometimes it feels like no one's gonna be listening, no one's gonna be watching. But it's really about your perspective on things. And even if you do something, even if you start something, and you fail and you have to restart from the beginning, or you feel like you're not getting to the place where you want to be at that time, one thing that you have to realize, actually a couple things, is one, you have a lot of time, especially if you're young. You have so much time that you don't even know what to do with. Because I guarantee you that scrolling that you're doing on your phone can be allocated. That time can be allocated to something else. Because realistically and honestly, you don't need to be on your phone scrolling. If you're not profiting off your phone, then what are you scrolling for? If you're not gaining from your phone, what are you scrolling for? If you're not studying off your phone, if you're not using it to your benefit, then what are you scrolling for? And another thing is that everything you're doing is for your purpose. Everything that you're doing is for a reason, even if you don't see it that way. Because all those failures that you've had, right, can be framed a certain way. All those failures that you have gone through are to set you up for something even bigger and better, even when you don't feel that way, even when you might not feel that way in that present moment. But what makes you that much more wise and that much more mature and that much more aware is being able to notice and being conscious of the fact that everything that you do, even if you fail or if you succeed, which is even better, is for an end goal, is to get you where you need to be at the end, is to get you where you want to be. All those failures, you have to frame them up in a way where you can use them to your advantage. All those failures have to be used to your advantage, because if you're one of those people that breaks, if you're one of those people that falls at the first sign of failure, at the first sign of opposition, then that tells you a lot about yourself. That tells you way more than you probably even know. And if you've gone through this, then you know exactly what I mean. You've tried so many things, and then you get to the point where you just give up and you're like, none of this is for me. So why don't I just get back into the rat race? Why don't I just continue working for the other man, when you know that you can be that man, when you know you can be the one that's employing other people, when you know you can be the boss instead of you working for somebody else. The one thing that it takes is time. You have to develop that skill that you're trying to work on, even if you're working on different things. What you need to be doing is working on one thing at a time. And if it's not for you, that's completely fine. But the one thing that you shouldn't do is give up just because you feel like it's not for you. If it's not for you, if you don't feel like it's for you, if you don't feel a connection to it, then by all means, stop what you're doing, reevaluate, reset, and choose something that you know you're going to like, even 4, 5, 10, 15 years from now. Choose something that you know you have passion in. Choose something that you know you love to do, and do everything that you can to harness the skill and ingrain it, and then become a legend at it, become a master. Because you have to master the craft. Because then you get to the point where no one can do what you do. And all those failures that you've gone through have gotten you to the point where you're at right now. All those failures get you to the point where you're at. Get you to the point where you're so good at what you do now that you're undeniable. That you can't be denied anymore. You can't even deny yourself anymore. You're so locked into what you're doing. You're so on point. You're so in tune. You're so concrete. You're so confident. It's effortless now. All that hard work, all that failure that you were going through was not really failure. They were just lessons. Lessons that you needed to go through. Because you have to go through the fire first. You have to sharpen iron with iron. You have to go through that in order for you to get to this place where you want to be at. Even what you're doing right now might not feel like is what you're supposed to be doing. It's gonna feel like you shouldn't be doing it, only because you feel like you need validation from other people. You feel like you need to be validated in what you're doing, but you don't see the value behind what you're doing until it gets valued by other people. But the first thing you need to do is value yourself, value the work that you're putting in, and then continue forward. However much time it takes, you do what you need to. Put in all the time that you need to. Get yourself to the place where you want to be. And then before you know it, you will be valued. You will get that validation that you're looking for, even though you don't need it. But if it's something that you're looking for, okay. But don't look for the value. Don't look for the validation from others, because that validation comes with expectations. And if you have expectations that aren't met, you're just setting yourself up for actual failure. You're setting yourself up for this goal that is not attainable in the place that you're at right now, especially if you don't even value what you do. If you don't even validate what you're doing right now, you can't expect anyone else to validate you. You must validate yourself first. And I made a video on this. You must seek value, and you must seek validation within yourself first in order for you to receive a validation from anyone else, even though it's not necessary. But once you go through all that, all those failures, you must keep going, especially if it's something that you know you want to. If it's something that you know you want, if it's something that means that much to you, then other people's judgments and opinions don't matter except for your own. So you must keep going. You must not give up on yourself. You must put value into those things. You must validate yourself first in order for you to be able to reframe failure, in order for you to really see why failure is the key to your success. Everything I just said is simple, not easy. Love y'all, man. Peace, yo.